Ramirez has been hot lately. Hoffpower in there for the day-to-day Milton Bradley, who has the sore left knee. Soto catching. Baker plays second. Bobby Scales in left hits eighth, and Ted Lilly, the pitcher, bats ninth.
Take a look at the Cardinals defensively tonight. Holliday, Rasmus, and Ludwig across the outfield, left to right. Mark DeRosa, the former Cub, at third base. Brendan Ryan at shortstop. Julio Lugo at second base. The big guy, Albert Pujols, over at first base. Yadier Molina behind the dish tonight for, I'm going to say it, future Hall of Famer John Smoltz. You see his combined numbers between the Red Sox and the Cardinals this season. As Len said, he has not pitched for a while. Back on the 8th against the Brewers was his last start. Had a cortisone shot in his right shoulder and declared himself ready to go tonight. Pretty much the same John Smoltz we're used to seeing in the past, except the velocities are just down a little bit.
Marty Foster will call the balls and strikes. Mark Carlson's at first, Todd Tichenor at second, and the crew chief is Kerwin Danley at third. Number 30, John Smoltz. Looks odd. I, for the life of me, can't think of his number in Atlanta, but it wasn't 30. It was 20-something.
29.
29.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he's a little older, so now 30, I guess, makes sense.
Back in the day, John Smoltz could pitch in the mid-90s, occasionally touching the upper 90s with his fastball, a snapdragon slider, and a nasty split finger. Still has those 3 pitches, but the velocities are just a little bit off.
We are underway, and I just noticed Chris Carpenter wears 29 for the Cardinals, so that's why Smoltz is wearing number 30. The 1-0 pitch to Terrio is a strike. 1-1. .71 degrees as we get going. 94 on our gun on strike 2. Says Mark Carlson, 2-2.
You know what I said about the velocities? Forget it. Well, it's throwing pretty good here. 94 with the heater. That's an 88-mile-an-hour slider that Terrio got the benefit of the doubt that time from first base umpire Mark Carlson.
Well, he waves at that slider at 88 as well. Smoltz has always been a good strikeout pitcher.
Well, and being a former Atlanta Brave, he's going to work mostly away in this ball game. He was taught well by Leo Mazzoni down there in his time in Atlanta. Away, away, away with everything. If he does come in, it's just a show-me pitch, probably off the plate inside.
Strikeout number 3,073 in his career. Fukudome hits that one all the way to the wall. And he's going to stop with a standing double. First base runner of the night, Kosuke Fukudome, and he's in scoring position.
That's exactly what his manager Lou Piniella said he needed to do more of as he's been in this little mini funk lately. Lou felt that perhaps Kosuke was trying to pull too many pitches for him to get back to using the entire field, and that time a perfectly placed double to the gap in left center.
That was his first career plate appearance against John Smoltz. So he has the highest batting average in history against Smoltz, 1,000. Swing and a miss by Derek Lee. He's just 4 for 18 against Smoltz with a triple, a homer, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. This is a 479th career start for Smoltz. He has 213 wins, 154 career saves. Only 153 losses. He has 1 more save than he has defeats in his career. This is career appearance 721. 0-2. Really struggled with Boston. Might have been tipping his pitches, especially from the stretch and later on in games. Some mechanical stuff going on as well. back in the National League.
Be tough to throw one past Yadier Molina back there behind the dish, especially when he knows a breaking ball is coming. 87-mile-an-hour slider that time in the dirt over in the left-handed batter's box.
There's a drive out into right center. Rasmus closing ground, can't get it. Fukudome will score easily. Lee will pull up with a double, and the Cubs lead 1-0. Rasmus gave it a good effort, but it was just beyond his reach. And Derek Lee has another RBI, his 103rd of the year.
And you love the approach of Fukudome and Derek Lee, both willing to go to the opposite field. That was a good slider on the outside corner, just breaking off the plate, and Derek stayed right on it, just like Kosuke did, and drove it to the opposite field.
Good hack by Aramis Ramirez. 1 strike.
Besides working the Cubs hitters away, another thing you'll see from John Smoltz at some point in this ball game, he's going to question the home plate umpire about a borderline strike. He thinks he should get every borderline call.
Ramirez had a big homestand. Did not start yesterday against Milwaukee, and he snapped his 8-game hitting streak with an 0-for-1 as a pinch hitter in what was his 1,400th career game. 7 hits from 1,500 in his career. Smoltz had signed with Boston back in January. He would be released in mid-August, and 2 days later signed with St. Louis. Driven into left center, so they're going gap to gap here. That's 3 consecutive doubles. 2-0.
You gotta love this. Don't even allow John Smoltz the opportunity to get comfortable out there on the mound after the strikeout of Terrio. It's been bingo, bango, bongo, doubles to the gaps. Cubs with a 2-0 lead, making big noise here early.
Apparently when the Cubs do their shopping in St. Louis, they only go to the gap.
2 at a time.
2 at a time, yeah. Now Micah Hoffpower. He starts for Milton Bradley. Bradley with some left knee inflammation and is listed as day-to-day. Lou said he possibly could be back in there tomorrow. We'll see. Cardinals have not played well on this homestand. They got swept by the Braves, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to Florida before an off day yesterday, so they're 1-5 on the homestand. I don't care if you're 70 games ahead and in first place. I don't think they're feeling too good about the way they have played over the last week.
For a team that seemingly has a postseason berth wrapped up, you want to play your best ball at the end of the season, so you're peaking at just the right time going into that postseason. The last thing in the world Tony La Russa and his staff want is for this team to go stumbling into the playoffs.
Smoltz really downplayed the shoulder tendonitis that caused the Cardinals to skip him on Monday. Basically, he's in for Kyle Loesch tonight, who's been bothered by a forearm injury that bounced in front of home plate, knocked down by Yadier Molina. think that was a strike on the bounce, which doesn't count.
You can swing at it and hit it, and it counts. But, yeah, if you take it and it bounces up in the strike zone, no deal.
Here comes a 3-2 bounced foul.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how John Smoltz fits into the playoff picture for the Cardinals. Obviously, he's had a lot of experience pitching at the tail end of ball games. Depends on how many starters Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan want to go with in the playoffs, but Smoltz could very easily find himself pitching out of the bullpen in the playoffs.
He gets the underhand toss from Pujols, 2 outs with Ramirez at third.
I mean, the way it's lined up right now, Carpenter is scheduled to throw their first playoff game, and rightfully so. Adam Wainwright would follow him, and then Pinheiro after that, you would assume. Kyle Loesch would probably be the game 4 starter if they needed a 4th starter. If not, you roll back around to Carpenter again, and John Smoltz, as I mentioned, might find himself pitching out of the bullpen.
He's going to go from the windup with Ramirez at third and 2 outs as he faces Giovanni Soto. Oh, a weird game Wednesday night for Gio. He had 2 hits at the plate, but a real tough night on defense. Had the error when he grabbed the ball with his mask, which you can't do. There was a forced play at the plate, but he tagged the runner instead, and then there was a foul ball near the screen that he didn't catch. But he's been really good at the plate here in the month of September, hitting .367 with 12 knocked in.
A big 2-out base hit would work right here. Keep the pressure on the Cardinals. Gio's been swinging a lot better, a little more fluidity in his swing, if you will. He was very robotic when he first came back off the disabled list. Really long, laborious swing, but he's been much quicker to the ball lately.
Good slider again in the mid to upper 80s from John Smoltz. Fastball tails inside. 3-1. Jeff Baker would bat next. Pops it up on the infield. Julio Lugo underneath, and that's the inning. 3 straight doubles. And the Cubs get 2 to start it. Cardinals are coming up.
Americans are always finding ways to be more responsible. And so is BMW. It's called Efficient Dynamics, a commitment to lower emissions while enhancing the thrill of the drive. It's the reason BMW offers the most fuel-efficient luxury fleet in America. And while you'll find responsibility quite exhilarating.
Hurry in to the BMW Greener Days sales event now and lease a 328i for only $349 a month.
Hey Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
When a major hospital wanted to add on to their benefits package at no direct cost to the company, their very first word was... Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Brighten up the decor of any room with the Wildwood collection from Hunter and Menards. They feature an elegant oil-rubbed bronze finish with white Scavo glass. This 3-light vanity is $39. A 3-light chandelier is $79. Menards has the largest Hunter ceiling fan selection. All stock Hunter ceiling fans are 25% off. This 52-inch Collingwood ceiling fan comes 90% pre-assembled for faster installation. And new bronze or brushed nickel finish, $68.
Save big money at Menards.
Bottom of the first, let's look in on the Cardinals Southwest starting lineup. Written out by Tony La Russa. They are 7th in the league in runs. Lugo, Rasmus, Pujols at the top. Holliday, Ludwig, the former Cub DeRosa in the middle. Molina, Ryan, and Smoltz at the bottom.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively tonight. Scales, Fukudome, and Hoffpower across the outfield. I bet you never thought you'd see those three names together at this time of year. Ramirez and Terrio on the left side of the infield. Baker and Lee on the right side. Giovanni Soto doing the catching tonight for left-hander Ted Lilly. Looking for victory number 13 on the season. Won his last 3 starts in a row and has been really good in doing so.
Big reason why the Cardinals are just 1-5 on this homestand. They've been stymied by some really good pitching. And the Cubs hope to continue that tonight as Lugo looks at a strike. Also of note, the Cardinals have hit 40 points worse as a team against lefties than they have against righties. Which is kind of interesting when you think about all the right-handed thump they have in their lineup. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lugo, who came over from Boston for Chris Duncan on July 22nd. That's pulled foul. I'm sure Chris Duncan could relate to the treatment Alfonso Soriano and Milton Bradley have been receiving at Wrigley Field. Didn't end too well for Duncan here, and he's a son of their pitching coach Dave Duncan. I think it was kind of a change of scenery type deal for Chris Duncan. We're kind of getting on him here. There are a lot of low batting averages in this lineup against Ted Lilly. DeRosa 2 for 10, even though he hit 2 homers in spring training against him. Ludwig 4 for 23. Holliday 1 for 5. Molina 179 in 28 at bats. Ryan 227. Schumacher 1 for 12.
Really, there's only been a couple of guys that have had any measure of success. Julio Lugo at the plate, 250 lifetime, 4 for 16. Rasmus, the on-deck hitter, 2 for 5 lifetime with a home run. And, of course, Big Albert at 294 with a couple of home runs. But, yeah, as you said, a lot of low batting averages against Ted.
Trying to put away the leadoff man, Lugo. Another 1-2 is inside on a fastball at 91. Won't see Ted throw a lot harder than that. And because of that and what we saw from Smoltz in the first, top of the first, I think we have a hot gun tonight.
I think you're probably right.
Both guys on our gun throwing harder than normal, which would probably mean it's maybe a couple of notches below what we've seen. 3-2 to Lugo with Rasmus and then Pujols coming up. Get it out of the way right now. Want to face Albert as many times as possible with nobody on base. And hopefully you don't have to face him much more than the minimum amount of times this weekend. 127 RBIs. Off power will come over, but he won't have a play. Now for the 10th pitch of the sequence.
And this is exactly what you don't want to have as a starting pitcher. Face that first hitter and have to throw everything in your arsenal to try to get him out. Lugo just keeps fouling him off. Hey, you like to keep as many pitches in reserve as possible so that when you have to get Lugo out later in the ball game, perhaps with some runners in scoring position, you've got a pitch that he hasn't seen yet in the ball game.
Off power won't get there this time either. Hey, tickets are still available for Cubs games this season, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Another 3-2 from Lilly to Lugo. Fly ball to left, Scales back, the leap and the catch. That ball really took off, and Scales was able to get back and make the play. That was a really good at bat by Julio Lugo.
Now, long extended at bat. Bobby Scales has to leave his feet out there just in front of the warning track. Lugo really gave that ball a ride.
I think Bobby was out early as, gosh, I would say probably 15 to 20 Cubs were playing football with a baseball. Tim Buss, a strength and conditioning coach, and Corey Miller, one of the bullpen catchers, were throwing passes basically, and a lot of guys were making catches in the outfield just like Bobby Scales just did. With a baseball instead of a football. They were running post routes and everything.
We talked about it the other day with the guys throwing the Frisbee around Wrigley Field. It's a great way to get your pregame running in, and you don't realize how much work you're actually doing. You have a little fun doing it.
And I hate to break bad on anyone, but I wasn't watching the entire session, but I saw a couple of drops by an All-American wide receiver, Notre Dame, Jeff Samardzija. Nice play by Derek, and Lilly gets to first in time, avoids a collision with Rasmus. 2 outs.
Well, stung down that first baseline by Rasmus. He hits a lot of topspin ground balls. That time Derek Lee able to corral it right on the first baseline. His momentum carried him into foul territory, and Theodore got over there in plenty of time.
So here's Albert. Now, no doubter Hall of Famer, but that conversation can wait for a while. He has a long way to go. He's not even 30 yet. And of all the great years he's had, this is the best one of them all to this point. Fukudome playing about as deep as you can play, and he has to make a leaping catch. Boy, when that pitch was thrown, he had his back up against the wall, and it still almost got over his head.
You want to see what a real airline's like? Come on over here.
Bring it! If we're known for one thing,
we've got the best customer service.
Low fares.
Frequent flights, that's what we're known for.
Low customer service.
We're known for a lot of things.
Bags fly free.
The lowest fares.
Great pilots, too. Customer service. Low fares.
We're not saying other airlines are bad. We're just awesome.
Low fares, customer service, frequent flights, on-time performance, and bags fly free. Come on over here. Fly with us.
every Wednesday and Thursday at 4:30. Get a head start on the game with Bears Blitz, presented by International Trucks. Luke Canellis and former Bear Dan Jiggets bring you 1 hour of the most exclusive interviews and reports in town with the best coverage of the Bears' upcoming matchup. Plus, Bears Blitz has full-length press conferences featuring Lovie Smith, Jay Cutler, Brian Urlacher, Ron Turner, and more. The Monsters of the Midway start here on Bears Blitz every Wednesday and Thursday at 4:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
I am the strength and you are the breath, and you will grow, become the best, and in your time find blue skies everywhere.
For generations, families have built lasting traditions with the confidence that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will continue to be there for all the celebrations yet to come.
Find blue skies everywhere.
After every Bears game.
Game ends, you flip over to Comcast Sportsnet. Every single week, you watch Bears postgame live as Dan Jiggets, Jerry Azuma, and Jim Miller break down the game with me.
Expert analysis.
They're shooting out and getting into the zone.
That's the MO. That's the blueprint. That's what you have to do.
Linebackers have to basically step up if they're in the zone coverage.
Press conferences and player interviews.
John Smoltz made 26 pitches in the first inning, gave up 2 runs, and he works to Jeff Baker here in the second. Cubs leading 2-0. Good slider. Baker with 2 hits yesterday, putting together a solid campaign between the Rockies and the Cubs. John Smoltz made his major league debut in 1988 with the Atlanta Braves. It was the only organization he had known prior to this season. That's through for a base hit. Baker with a leadoff single.
Smoltz has made some mistakes in the middle of the plate in the early going here. His stuff is filthy. His fastball sitting in the low to mid 90s. We've seen that slider approaching 90 miles an hour as you get a look at his bio. But he has made some mistakes in the middle of the plate, and when he has, the Cubs have been ready and hit him hard.
Grew up in Lansing, Michigan, rooting for the Tigers, drafted by Detroit, but never did pitch for the Tigers. Acquired by Atlanta for Doyle Alexander. Down the stretch in '87. 0-1 to Bobby Scales. Including tonight, John Smoltz has thrown over 52,200 pitches in his major league career.
Just on the field.
That's just in game action.
Yeah, how many has he thrown on side sessions in the bullpen, warming up as a relief pitcher, warming up before a start as a starter, 8 pitches between innings.
Lifted the other way, and this is Holliday to make the catch.
The 25th annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2010. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
Ted Lilly with 4 sack bunts. It's a piece of it, but it's foul.
Definitely want to get that bunt to the first base side if at all possible. Mark DeRosa creeping way in from his third base position.
matchups all weekend. Ryan Dempster and Chris Carpenter tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano and Adam Wainwright Sunday night.
Carpenter and Wainwright is kind of a battle for the Cy Young. Certainly Tim Lincecum will be included in that formula, but a couple of teammates pitching back-to-back. Both serious candidates for that Cy Young award this year.
I think at the moment I would give the edge to Wainwright because of the innings pitched. ERA isn't all that far off of Carpenter's. And he has 2 more wins. 2-2 to Lilly. 212 innings already for Adam Wainwright. That leads the league. Roy Halladay leads the majors with 214. Well, he's run it full. Smoltz wanted the call, didn't get it. 3-2.
Yeah, you saw that little freeze right there. And he thinks he should get a call. We've seen a lot of that from John Smoltz over the course of his career.
He is one of the most competitive individuals on the planet. Baker was running as Lilly bunted it to Smoltz. So a sacrifice 1-3. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Hey, Cub fans want to throw out the first pitch at Wrigley on September 30th. How about taking some swings inside the Cubs batting cage, or maybe playing catch with a friend by the Ivy? Your friends at MetLife want to make that happen. Visit Cubs.com/MetLife to enter for your chance to win. Make sure you enter tonight as we have reached the deadline. That is a great promotion to not only come to Wrigley Field, but to be on Wrigley Field on September 30th. Brought to you by MetLife. Inside, almost got a piece of Ryan Theriot.
We mentioned he mostly pitches away, especially to the right-handed hitters. He'll show in like he did to Ryan Theriot right there, but he usually makes sure to get it off the plate where those right-handed batters can't get to it, and then goes right back away.
I wanted to ask you, Bob. Baker ran on the 3-2 pitch, and Lilly bunted. Was that the intent?
Not really sure, to tell you the truth. I mean, if Ted Lilly bunts through the ball, better chance that Baker's going to beat the throw to second base. If he happens to bunt it foul, it counts as a strikeout. He has to go back to first base anyway. And it was a nice at bat by Ted Lilly.
Yeah, it was.
Just forced John Smoltz to throw a lot of pitches before he finally did get that sac bunt down with 2 strikes. Talk about John Smoltz and the competitor that he is out there on the field. There was a time very early in his career, Bobby Cox said he would have been a great center fielder if he had chosen to be a position player. There was really nothing he couldn't do. He swung the bat well, he ran the bases well, and obviously he pitches well.
Well, he's pretty upset, I think, about that non-swing. And the Cardinals were all, well, they had 5-6 steps on their way to the dugout, and the Cubs got a huge break.
That's 2 with Theriot at the plate. His first at bat of the ball game when he ended up striking out. He had a similar check swing earlier in the sequence that wasn't called by the first base umpire, Mark Carlson.
John Smoltz is not a happy camper right now. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of his ears or not.
Well, we're not here to make him happy.
Well, he was excellent at everything he did in high school. Basketball, football, baseball. Plays golf with Tiger Woods. I've seen him playing backgammon in the clubhouse, and it's for keeps.
Full contact backgammon.
Yeah. That time he got Terrio on the full swing to end the inning. Cubs strand Baker at second. It's 2-0 early on.
Tomorrow, the Blackhawks are back on Comcast Sportsnet. Don't miss Jonathan Taves lead the new crew as they debut on CSN for the face-off against Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Blackhawks Capitals, tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Anybody want a beer?
Yeah. Are you insured? Do you know when your beer is perfectly cold? Or do you risk drinking a warm one? If you have the Coors Light cold activated bottle, you're covered. Because every bottle turns blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold insurance. Only from Coors Light. Cold beer. That's our policy.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
People say, hey, you're that Mercury girl. I say, yeah. Then they ask, well, why Mercury? Why now? I tell them there's no better way to go green and get green. Because Mercury Milan is the most fuel-efficient midsize sedan in America, and Mariner Hybrid is the most fuel-efficient SUV on the planet.
Plus, right now, they have 0% financing plus $1,000 cash back on the Mercury Milan.
Why Mercury? Why now? Why not? Go online or see your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Tonight at 10:30, Comcast Sportsnet has the high school sports scene covered. Reports from Friday night's biggest matchups, highlights, and in-depth stories about programs making an impact in the Chicagoland area. High School Lights, presented by Farmers Insurance. Tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for the Cabot Woodstein legendary performance on this date in 1970. The Cubs swept a pair of games from Montreal. Both games decided by 1 run. Fergie Jenkins won number 20 in game 1. Billy Williams hit his 40th homer of the year. Phil Regan won game 2. Those guys are reminiscing right now about that game. Matt Holliday will lead off the bottom of the second. Lilly won 1, 2, 3 in the first, but 2 balls were hit right on the button. Lugo and Pujols, who lined out deep. I'd say Matt Holliday's made a difference. It was acquired from Oakland on July 24th. The Cardinals are 33-16 since then. He's due to become a free agent after the season. So is Mark DeRosa, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if both guys are back in 2010.
As good as Holliday has been for the Cardinals since coming over here, he's still the guy you'd rather face than Albert Pujols. If push comes to shove, there's a base open. The Cubs are either going to intentionally walk or pitch around Big Albert to go after Matt Holliday, so they better figure out very early in this series how they want to attack him.
I'm glad you brought that up. Fouled back. The idea of protection in a lineup has been talked about a lot over the last several decades, and Joe Sheehan, who writes for Baseball Prospectus and Sports Illustrated, had a little note in SI this summer about whether or not Matt Holliday protects Albert Pujols. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And I guess, Bob, it's more about what the definition of protection is. There is evidence, according to BP, that or is no evidence that Matt Holliday batting behind Albert Pujols actually improves Pujols' numbers or that he gets better pitches to hit. What it does is it'll give him more chances to hit. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Pujols will be better with Holliday behind him, but he may get more opportunities, and there may be the rare occasion when you don't intentionally walk in to get to Holliday. So I guess that would be the statistical definition of protection in a lineup like this. Ludwig hits it foul, and I think that makes sense. Teams are still going to work around Pujols, like you said, if push comes to shove.
I don't know if there's a hitter in the National League that I wouldn't rather face than Albert Pujols right now.
And the way Holliday's been going, he'd be a close second, but I would still agree that you'd rather face anyone other than Albert.
I mean, there have been rare occasions that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years where Albert maybe is in a little bit of a funk as you start a series, and you might be a little more aggressive going after him when he's in one of those little funks. But the problem is you don't know how long his little funks are going to last, because they usually don't last very long. He figures things out rather quickly. So just about the time you're feeling pretty good about yourself and you go after Albert, that's about the time he jumps up and hits a 3-run home run.
And Ludwig is pretty good too. He was an all-star last year. He lines out to right. And here comes Mark DeRosa. This is a matchup we were looking forward to at Wrigley Field back in June when he was with the Cleveland Indians. DeRosa acquired by the Cardinals in late June, and then did not face the Cubs with the Cardinals right at the end of the first half because of a wrist injury that really has bothered him a lot, and you'd have to say it's affected his offensive numbers. There's a strike. But Bob, going back to spring training, Mark hit 2 homers off Lilly down in Arizona, and also doubled off the batter's eye in Mesa. And you know how high that batter's eye is. It could have been 3 homers for Mark against a very good friend of his.
Ted was just setting him up for this at bat. And that's not out of the question for a crafty veteran pitcher. I mean, nobody likes to get their brains beat in, even in a spring training game. But by the same token, probably didn't want to tip his hand, didn't want to throw his best stuff to DeRosa in that ball game. Probably challenged with a lot more fastballs than Mark DeRosa is going to see tonight.
Curveball in the dirt, 2-2. DeRosa's also given credit here for kind of helping facilitate the Smoltz signing, former Braves teammate. So he could give the Cardinals a good recommendation, and he could also give Smoltz a good recommendation on playing here in St. Louis. We'll get back out of play. Next one to DeRosa. To right, Hoff power on the move, makes the catch, and that's the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Ted Lilly. 2-0 Cubs after 2.
Want to see all the action from the front row? Now you can with the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. Front row seats will be auctioned off to each game all season long. For more information, visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction. The best seats are always a click away.
Now, bring home the first summer blockbuster of the year. That's cool. With new origins and new revelations never seen before. X-Men Origins Wolverine, now available. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Why do people shop at K&K True Value Hardware?
The place where you want to feel like you're being treated as a customer and as a person. That's the good vibes that you get back from people at K&K.
I know that when I walk in the door, someone is going to be there to help me.
My gosh, I've seen some of the same people for 25 years.
They're friendly. They help me out with a lot of my questions, and it's just great to see a smile.
Service with answers, that's the K&K way.
Come out to Valley Falls Adventure Golf for exciting and affordable fun for the whole family. Watch the kids explore the premier miniature golf course in the Quad Cities as you sit back on the patio at Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos. Or take a swing yourself. There's adventure at every turn at Valley Falls. We also offer birthday, charity, fundraising, and special events packages for miniature golf and Happy Joe's. Valley Falls Adventure Golf, one slice short of heaven. Located behind Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos in Cole Valley.
Tuesday Tuesday, a central showdown pours into Miller Park as Derek Lee and the Cubs battle their division foes, Prince Fielder and the Milwaukee Brewers. Followed by Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Don't miss the Cubs and Brewers Tuesday night at 7. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Called strike on Fukudome, who got that rally started in the first with a double. First of 3 straight 2-base hits to give the Cubs the lead. Smoltz not thrilled with that particular pitch. 2-1. And Bob, because of Smoltz's competitive nature, I mean the rabid competitiveness, I could see him retiring if he struggles here down the stretch. I mean, he had a real bad time in Boston. Seems to have gotten things sorted out. 4 starts here in a 3.27, but I don't see John Smoltz hanging around just for the paycheck and struggling.
Yeah, you're right. But when a guy has been as successful as John Smoltz has been throughout the course of his career, and you know, hits that wall that every athlete hits at some point in their career, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it gets tougher and tougher to take the ball in the case of a starter every 5th day. The routine that you have to go through between starts to prepare for your next one is really grinding. And because of the success he's had in the past, I don't think he wants to go out as a 12th pitcher on a 12-man staff. I think he wants to go out with a blaze of glory, and I'm sure he's hoping that's this year with the Cardinals.
12 DL stints from 98 to 2008, coming off shoulder surgery in June of last season. He's had Tommy John surgery as he walks Fukudome to start the inning.
I mean, we've heard of his former teammate Chipper Jones say the same thing, that physically, if he can't go out there and play the game the way he thinks he has to help his team win, he would just as soon walk away.
He's got all the money he'll ever need. Series ring with Atlanta back in '95. All kinds of postseason success. Time for the Coors Light freeze can. The Derek Lee double out into right center, almost caught by Colby Rasmus.
Game of inches. That's all it took to get that ball past the Cardinal center fielder for extra bases and an RBI.
As a postseason performer, John Smoltz 15-4 with a 2.65 ERA with 4 saves as well. Over 200 innings in the playoffs. That's a full season of work just in October, which tends to happen when you go to the playoffs every year.
Boy, the 14 years in a row for the Braves. Yeah.
Alone should get him into the hall. Outside. That walk to Fukudome, just the second one Smoltz has given up as a Cardinal.
We should probably say it in the first game of the series, but any base runner for the Cubs needs to be very aware of Yadier Molina behind the plate. That slider just drifting off the outside corner. Molina with 7 pickoffs this season, and that's after everybody in baseball knows he likes to throw to the bases. He still has 7 pickoffs.
Runner going, and it's hit in the air. Lugo out, Ludwig in. It'll be Lugo with Fukudome retreating to first.
Kosuke on the move on that pitch to Derek Lee. A quick peek back to home plate. Realizes the ball's hit in the air. Tippy toes to a stop out there about 3/4 of the way to second base, and then easily retreats back to first as that ball was caught in shallow right.
It seems like John Smoltz has thrown 2 pitches in the exact same spot all night. The slider and the fastball just off the outside corner. Another pop up, and it'll be Lugo yet again. Right in the grass cutout where they have the arch cut into the outfield grass, which is a nice touch. They had the All-Star game here in July. So 2 down. It's Micah Hoffpower. So Bob, I guess if you've never been in the arch, if you walk out to center field right where Colby Rasmus is, you can pretend you were up there.
It's about as far off the ground as I want to get.
Look at home plate. You look it straight down. Oh.
Do you remember how tall the arch is?
I don't know. Pretty tall though. The windows are kind of angled down, so you're kind of leaning over. It's not easy on your stomach. 632 feet. 2-0.
Sometimes, the little things in life feel like our biggest enemies. They can be damaged. They can be stolen. Happily, there's the American Express Charge Card. If something you recently bought with the card breaks, it can be repaired, replaced, or your account can be credited. You'll even get membership rewards points with each purchase. And peace of mind when you travel. Can your card say that?
Did that clerk just call you ma'am? Demands take 5 Pilates classes a week. Demands drive a Mitsubishi Lancer Sportback with magnesium paddle shifters. No, man, they certainly do not. A sports car that's into whatever you're into. The all-new 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer Sportback. It's different for a reason. For a limited time, get the Lancer Sportback with 0% APR financing for 48 months.
Tomorrow, the Blackhawks are back on Comcast Sportsnet. Don't miss Jonathan Taves lead the new crew as they debut on CSN for the face-off against Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Blackhawks Capitals tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
On May 3rd, the Cubs retired the number 31 in honor of 2 of the greatest pitchers to ever wear a Cubs uniform, Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins and future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. For a limited time only, Cub fans can purchase their very own commemorative painting of Jenkins and Maddux. Each painting is signed by the artist and individually numbered. Order yours today at Cubs.com.
Last 3 in the Cardinal lineup. All-Star catcher Yadier Molina, who was a teammate of Ted Lilly's here back in July. Guessing they did not discuss the collision at home plate late last season. Ted Lilly went barreling into Molina. Jeff Baker one hands on the pop out. That'll bring up Brendan Ryan, making his first start since Monday when he jammed his left pinky finger diving back into first against Florida. Missed 3 starts, was used as a pinch runner a couple of Days to go, but getting back in the lineup tonight. Takes that fastball high. 1-0 on Ryan. I don't think a lot of the Cardinals are doing that, but we saw them in July at Wrigley Field. Everyone was going with the mustache, not the full beard, not the goatee, just that look right there.
That's a good look.
One and two. Skip Schumacher going with that look. What's going on here?
Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, calling Ryan back to the batter's box. He wanted to go back and get a little more stickum for that bat. I think they would prefer the bat boy bring the stickum out to the hitter. That's one of those things that they changed in the game a few years ago to try to pick up the pace of the game, so not so much time was wasted with visits to the pine tar rag or the rosin bag.
Called strike three.
That's what you get for leaving the batter's box. Fastball at the kneecaps, right down the middle of the plate.
Brings up Smoltz. Was 5 career home runs. Two strikes to Smoltz. Lilly's 7-3 against the Cardinals, 1-1 this season. He's pitched well both times. The loss was a 3-0 loss here at Busch Stadium on May 19th. 7 innings, 3 runs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Perfect through the first 3 with a 2-0 lead.
Here we are, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Coach Adams is making a call to the bullpen.
Hey guys, what do you want me to bring in?
Man, is anyone ready to go yet? Send in Mahoney.
You got it.
Wait a second, he's bringing in Mahoney. This could be a long night. Here comes the pitch. And it's all tied up. Looks like we may be heading into extra innings.
Buffalo Wild Wings, you have to be here.
Bottom of the 15th, popped up. This game won't end.
Why design a vehicle with 88 vibration control measures? Why engineer 20 available systems that sense and respond to your needs before you're even aware of them? Because the average driver spends over 40,000 hours of their lifetime driving. The new 2010 Lexus ES, uniquely designed to make every hour feel just as remarkable as the first. At your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
Jim, what are you doing? Dave, did you forget? You told me to chop 25% off every window. Jim, the price. Yeah, right.
It's Feldco's September sale. Feldco is chopping 25% off the price of every window.
Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call now.
The Beanstalk's out back.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Sunday on Comcast Sportsnet. Hulk and Erico and the White Sox hope to serve the Royals a loss on the South Side. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Feldco White Sox pregame live. White Sox Royals Sunday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Time for the Aflac trivia question. Name the two NL Central teams that have never won a division title. The NL Central title. So since they realigned the divisions in 1994, and there was no title winner in 94 because the season was canceled in August. Well, we can eliminate the Cubs. Soto grounds to third. Boy, a rare first pitch out in this one as DeRosa throws out Soto. I think we're safe in eliminating the Cardinals. They've won it a few times. About the Houston Astros. Pirates. You look baffled. There's one team that won the title that you may not remember. And it was actually the first one in '95. The 0-2 to Jeff Baker. Hoisted into center. This will be no problem for Rasmus. 2 outs. That's 5 straight. Retired by John Smoltz.
This is not my baffled look. This is just my everyday look.
Oh.
Although I am baffled.
That's your normal look. Okay.
It's a little tricky because, you know, wild card winners advance to the postseason from the Central on at least a couple of occasions.
And what was there was one year when the Astros and Cardinals basically tied for the division, but one of the teams ended up technically being the wild card winner. But I think both teams put up banners, championship banners.
Was that 05?
I think it was earlier than that. I'm thinking like 2000, 2001, right around that time. Rolled foul by Bobby Scales. Now 2-1. If he gets on, Ted Lilly will get a shot. Foul tip, strike 2.
Some of that early game adrenaline wearing off. The velocity's going down with each inning on John Smoltz's delivery to home plate.
It was 2001, Bob, when you won the World Series. The Astros and Cardinals each finished 93 and 69, but Houston was awarded the crown in the division because they won the season series. I don't know if they put up division championship pennants here in the ballpark, and if so, maybe we could locate 2001. I don't know if they've ever acknowledged, yeah, we were just the wild card winners. Didn't matter, both teams got in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Cubs go down 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. Top of the order for St. Louis the second time around.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
Coach Ditka, it's hot up here and we're out of cold Coors Light. What do we do?
Go get it!
Great idea, but we've only got $10.
What do you want, 11? What do you want, 11?
We need more than that. Ditka's wallet!
And we got it. We just found your wallet.
We'll just use a credit card for the cold Coors Light.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Cross Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, I just bought a Coors Light t-shirt. What do you think?
Hey, no stretch there, baby. No stretch there.
It's a little snug.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, raves car magazine. Slick and sensuous, boasts the Washington Times. The most striking VW in recent memory, declares...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
For a limited time, lease a 2009 CC for only $299 a month. See your local Volkswagen dealer for offer details. Legendary Volkswagen value. It's what the people want.
Let's answer the Aflac trivia question. There are 2 teams in the NL Central that have not won an NL Central title.
Aflac!
And they are the Brewers and Pirates. The Reds won it 95. And other than that, it's been Cubs, Astros, and Cardinals.
Well, I got the Pirates. I got that part of it right.
Yeah, the Brewers won the wild card last year, but have not won the division. It's like St. Louis is closing in on its 8th Central title. But they trail the second place Cubs 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Lugo had a long drawn out at bat to start Ted Lilly's night, and Lilly would get him on a line out to deep left, and he has not worked from the stretch tonight. Lugo was trying to set him up in that first at bat, patient, taking pitches, trying to ambush him here in the second at bat, and he missed it. Didn't miss that one. That's the Cardinals' first hit.
Lugo was spraying foul balls all over the ballpark in his first at bat of the game. This time he gets a fastball up and out over the plate and drives it right over Jeff Baker's head for the first hit of the game for the Cardinals.
There's Colby Rasmus, Rookie of the Year candidate. How about 2 here? Lead at Terrio, relay throw to Lee. It's going to be late as Lilly got over there. And it really wasn't going to matter as Rasmus beat it out.
Now, whenever possible, you'd like to see that first baseman get back and cover the bag at first, and Derek does that. He delivers the ball to Terrio at second base and then kind of called Ted Lilly off the play. Teddy has to go into foul territory to avoid the runner coming down that first baseline. And you're right, I don't think they would have gotten Rasmus either way at first base.
The Menards Big Lumbers stat. Albert Pujols with 40 career homers against the Cubs, 3 this season. He is a shoo-in for his 3rd National League MVP. To be honest with you, it won't even be close. Probably should be unanimous. the only way with the numbers he's put up that he wouldn't win it is if the Cardinals were bad, but they're really good. So that kind of clinches it.
And he's a big reason for that. Yeah, I mean, this is everything you look for in a most valuable player candidate. Puts up solid numbers.
Probably won't win the Triple Crown, but he's up in the top 2 in all those categories. Batting average, he's 23 points behind Hanley Ramirez, but he leads in homers and RBIs. Southern League Championship Series update for you. Tennessee with a lead 3-1. Good to see as they face elimination against the Jacksonville Suns. Ryan Sandberg, the Smokies manager, lost a couple of real close games in Jacksonville to start the series. They have Casey Coleman on the mound, the Cubs minor league pitcher of the year. 14 wins in the regular season for Coleman. Out in the left. Bobby Scales makes a catch. So Pujols is 0 for 2.
Philly leaves that curveball up a little higher than he wanted. Pujols gets it up above the belt. Looks like he might have hit it out toward the end of the bat. Just enough for that ball to die in the glove of Bobby Scales out there in left field.
Rasmus the runner at first. The kick and the pitch to Holliday runs inside. Going to go in again.
Features that big leg kick with the left leg as he approaches the pitch, as it gets into the hitting zone. It's worked very well for him. It goes without saying, but that's one of those timing mechanisms that can really get out of sync. Sometimes you're a little bit too quick, sometimes you're a little too slow. Different guys do different things just to get some weight shift, to get your weight back on the back leg before driving forward into the pitch. And we see a number of the Cubs hitters go up on their front toe on the left leg just to keep their weight back. But for Holliday, he uses a big leg kick.
Holliday's a big dude, 6'4", 235. He was recruited by Oklahoma State to play quarterback, but he chose pro baseball instead. Was a 7th round pick of the Rockies in '98. Chopper to Aramis Ramirez. He's going to throw to second, and he barely gets Rasmus. Risky play there as Ramirez had an easier play at first, but they do get the third out on a bang play at second. And after 4, the Cubs lead the Cardinals 2-0.
I know I said I'd be there by now, but I really am only 10 minutes away. Okay, hang on. Oh, I gotta call you back. You're gonna call me back.
Nice. Cash for clunkers may be over, but during Toyota's National Clearance Event, there's still time to get a great deal. Choose from a full lineup from America's most dependable and fuel-efficient car company. See your Toyota dealer today.
Why do people shop at K&K True Value Hardware?
I've been shopping at K&K for over 25 years, and what brings me here is the quality of the service, the staff.
There's always somebody that's greeting you with a hello, and they're so helpful.
With a variety of products here,
I always walk out with what I need.
They are awesome when it comes to anything you need. K&K is the place to go.
Service with answers, that's the K&K way.
Swing into Valley Pub for fun times and a great atmosphere. Kick back, sample the incredible drink selections and our daily specials. Watch your favorite teams and sporting events on our flat screen TVs or sit out on the patio with a view of Valley Falls Golf Course. Come see us on Tuesdays for tacos. 100% of all donations directed to local charities and people in need. Live music on Saturdays. Visit our website, mulligansvalleypub.com. Get your Irish on in Coe Valley.
At Mulligan's Valley Pub.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Luke Stuckmeyer here. Don't forget to check out my Cubs blog, Bricks and Ivy, at csnchicago.com, brought to you by Toshiba.
Cubs have gotten a couple of breaks tonight.
Yeah, Ramos was a little deliberate getting rid of that ball to second base, and Colby Rasmus looked like he got his foot down on the bag. It appears that he's on the base right there, and the ball was still several feet away from Ryan Theriot, but take your breaks where you can get them.
Smoltz to Lilly on an 0-1. A pop-up out into shallow left. It'll be the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Every Monday when the Cubs are on the road, visit the Captain Morgan Club on Addison and Sheffield to get half off your entire check. The Captain Morgan Club is the hottest new spot to watch the Cubs in every sporting event. Be sure to check out CaptainMorganClub.com to see all the daily specials and promotions, including half-price Mondays. Cubs will be in Milwaukee this coming Monday. That would be one of those special Mondays. Ryan Theriot shoots it out into right center. That's a base hit. After 2 strikeouts, he has his first knock of the night.
Jumping on that high fastball, got in on his hands just a little bit. Dunked it out there in front of Colby Rasmus for a base hit. See if Theriot tries to work for a lead over there and challenge Yadier Molina behind the plate. John Smoltz occasionally can get real deliberate to home plate. That's who you're trying to steal against if you run in this situation. With a 2-0 lead, this figures to be the time that Lou might be a little more aggressive with his base runners than we've normally seen throughout the season.
Theriot fakes towards second, and the pitch is outside. John Smoltz has not beaten the Cubs in a while. 1997. First time he's faced them since 2006. He's 15-5 lifetime. No swing by Fukudome. 2-0. And again, his last victory, April 5th, 1997. Mistaken, that was one of those losses for the Cubs in that long losing streak. They start that year 0-14. Three and one. goes. It's fouled right at the plate at the feet of Molina.
Looked like the Riot had a good jump that time over there at first base. Of course, Kosuke hit a 3-1 count. He's looking for a strike that he can do some damage with, maybe drive it in a gap once again. That time fouled it off of Molina, but I think Terrio would have stolen it easily on that particular pitch. See if Smoltz speeds up his delivery on this 3-2 pitch.
Terrio runs again, and let's see if they try to turn two. Oh, they got him on a barehanded play by Brendan Ryan at second base. What a play by Ryan just to catch that ball as the runner and the defender met at the same time, and Lou's going to come out. Glove to hand. Ooh, I don't know. I don't.
It's tough to tell if he had his foot on the base.
Wow.
Man. Couple of close plays at second base tonight for Todd Tishner.
Let's see. Yeah, he got him. If he had the ball and he had his foot on the base.
Yeah, it looked like he initially had his foot on the base, and then Terrio's slide took his foot off the bag, but he definitely had possession of that ball in his throwing hand.
And he kind of held it instead of throwing to first just to make sure he got it out there. And I think, Bob, that was a smart play to do that. If he tries to throw to first, he might drop it. He might not get the call.
Well, and Ryan knew that Terrio was running on the play as well, so if they're going to get it out, it's going to be very close. That runner's going to be right on top of you.
Lee into left. Holliday coming over. He was playing deep and makes the grab near the line to end the inning. Bottom five. Cubs leading 2-0.
Some people think the smart thing to do when times are tough is to wait it out. Don't make any moves. Play it safe. If you look out your window, you can see those people from up here. Nothing's going to hold you down, so book your flight and keep on flying. Southwest Airlines has flights starting at just $69 one way. And remember, on Southwest, your bags fly free. Grab your bag. It's on. Book now at southwest.com.
Now, bring home the first summer blockbuster of the year. That's cool. With new origins and new revelations never seen before. X-Men Origins Wolverine, now available.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Grab the wheel and discover. Why Lincoln? Why now? Choose from a full line of Lincoln vehicles with the latest in luxury and technology, including Sync, powered by Microsoft, which Lexus, Cadillac, and BMW don't offer at any price. Come in now for 0% financing plus $1,000 cash back on the 2010 Lincoln MKZ. Visit your Lincoln Mercury dealer or landoflincolnmercury.com for details.
Gail Fisher with you. Join us for Sports Night tonight after Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Another change in the secondary for the Bears. The Hawks get ready for their first preseason game, and High School Lights brings you the area's top prep games. That's all tonight on Sports Night, but now back to St. Louis with Len and Bob.
Gail, it's been a tough year for the Cubs, but it's been a good start to this weekend. The Cubs leading 2-0 as we get into the bottom of the fifth.
You know, it's an old cliche, but it really is true. Regardless of where the two teams are in the standings, throw the records out the door. It's Cubs Cardinals. Come on, you know, you're going to come in here, you're going to throw your best effort out there on the field and see what happens. And right now the Cubs are getting the best of it, 2-0.
And this is a last series between these two teams this season. And the last series here for a long time. This season, all the games but these three played before the All-Star break. But the next time we're in St. Louis, it'll be almost 11 months, August 13th through the 15th. So 13 of the 16 this season before the break next year. 3 of the 15 will be before the break. The rest will be after. 2 strikes to Ryan Ludwig. And that's pulled into left for a base hit. That's their second hit. Both have led-off innings. Lugo in the 4th and Ludwig now in the 5th. If you missed some of the action, go to On Demand from Comcast and you'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet Cubs games ready to watch on your schedule. To find out more, call 1-888-4-BEST-TV. You missed Bob's analysis of a Ted Lilly curveball back in the 2nd inning, which I thought was particularly outstanding. You're going to want to check it out on demand. And you can impress your friends by watching and getting the Aflac trivia question, getting the answer before we reveal it. See, that's a nice trick. The only problem with that is the game's at 5 in the morning on demand. It's kind of hard to tell them that it's live. Just tell them it was a long rain delay.
I'll tell you what's even more impressive is if you can come up with a trivia question before it's asked.
Even better.
That's even better.
I bet you I know what they're going to ask. That's fair for DeRosa. Going to go all the way into the corners. Ludwig's on his way to 3rd. Gets past Bobby Scales, so Ludwig scores, and DeRosa slides in at 3rd base. That is a triple for DeRosa.
We kind of lost sight of that ball from our vantage point down in the left field corner, but obviously something happened as Bobby Scales got over there in the corner. DeRosa pulls it right down that 3rd baseline. The ball hugging the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the angle and shot past Bobby Scales.
So the tying run is at 3rd with nobody out, and what's the infield going to do? They're going to come in about halfway up the middle, even with a bag on the corners.
Well, Mark DeRosa's a good runner once he gets a head of steam going on the bases, but as far as a quick start, being able to score from 3rd base on a hard hit ball, I think the Cubs feel comfortable playing a little bit behind where they normally would.
Ground ball to short. Terrio looking at DeRosa, and he throws to 1st. So they dodge 1 bullet. Always got to watch for the squeeze. A spot like this, you have the pitcher on deck. Now Ramirez in maybe another step or 2 at 3rd. Swing and a miss.
Fastball up and out over the plate. That's a pitch that you would throw if you were expecting a possible squeeze bunt. The book in the game is to throw high fastballs if you think the other team's going to bunt. The idea being they'll have a harder time getting that pitch down on the ground. That time Ted Lilly got the swinging strike on a high fastball. Cardinals being overly aggressive here in an attempt to tie the game. Molina grounded out on 1 pitch, and Ryan has swung and missed twice.
is high.
Well, we talked about Brad Hopp of the Colorado Rockies and all the movement that he has in his setup before swinging at a pitch. Yeah, Brendan Ryan's got a lot going on in that batter's box.
Left. DeRosa ready to tag. Scales makes a catch, and the Cardinals tie it up as DeRosa scores easily.
Scales can cover a lot of ground out there in the outfield and has shown his speed, but one thing he does not have is an outfielder's arm. I don't believe he would have been able to get DeRosa with anybody's arm out there, but he just kind of lollipopped that ball back into the infield. DeRosa scored easily.
So we're back to even as Smoltz fouls it away. Part of the zone. 0-2. Curveball called, strike 3. St. Louis ties it. Couple of hits, a sac fly. It's 2-2 as we head to the 6th.
In 1873, Coors Banquet was shipped by stage to places like Durango, Leadville, and Cripple Creek. Thirsty miners demanded a beer made with the best high country barley and only Rocky Mountain water. Today, our beer is shipped by rail to places like Memphis, Buffalo, and Sacramento. But one thing hasn't changed. Folks still demand a banquet. Coors, the banquet beer.
To give the Honda Accord even greater fuel efficiency and safety, its frame is engineered out of high tensile strength steel. This makes it strong, yet light. So strong, in fact, it's an Insurance Institute top safety pick. And so light, it offers great fuel efficiency, taking the Accord to a whole new level. Go to shophonda.com to get a quote on a new Accord.
Mrs. Ross, your son glued his hands to his face.
Mom, I married a drummer. He's awesome.
Hey, honey, have you seen my pants?
It's impossible to stress out in a hot tub from the Great Escape, and our last chance summer sale makes now the best time to buy. Save $500 to $2,000 on stress-melting hot tubs from Jacuzzi, Sundance, and Viking. Save even more on floor models at the Great Escape.
Escape your everyday. Shop the Great Escape.
Tomorrow, the Blackhawks are back on Comcast Sportsnet. Don't miss Jonathan Tainsley, the new pro as they debut on CSN with a face-off against Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Blackhawks Capitals tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Get the best Chicago sports news nightly on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Coming up tonight after Cubs post-game live, the Bears have their final tune-up for the Steelers, and the young Hawks prepare to impress in tomorrow's preseason opener against the Caps. Join Josh and Chris for Sports Night, presented by Dex, tonight after Cubs post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. And the Hawks game will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet tomorrow night. Hockey's back. Be great to hear Pat and Eddie back on the airwaves. 0-2 to Aramis Ramirez. The Cubs scored twice in the first. They have not scored since. And while John Smoltz has not been at his best tonight, how many times do you see it where you have a great chance to really bury a guy like Smoltz in the first, and then you get one or two, but you give him a chance to settle in, and that's kind of what has happened.
Well, and I think what has happened is the adrenaline is worn off, and John Smoltz is now pitching. We've seen the velocity drop on his fastball and his slider, but he's got a little bit better command now. A lot of the pitches that he threw in that first inning were right down the heart of the plate.
Now, the contact has not been nearly as good since that first.
It seems kind of a funny dichotomy, but a pitching coach sometimes will watch a starting pitcher go out there and take the mound and say, geez, he's too amped up. He's throwing too hard. He's not commanding his pitches. It looks good on the radar gun, and the fans in the ballpark love to look up there and see those mile-per-hour readings, but it's not always the most effective way for a pitcher to go about getting out the opposing hitters.
Big game for the Marlins tonight in Cincinnati, and they have not played well in Cincinnati over the years. They've lost 9 straight there, and they were trailing 2-0 going into the 9th against Francisco Cordero, but they've scored once, and they have 2 in scoring position with only 1 out and Dan Ugla at the plate, so we'll keep you posted. They're all big for teams like the Marlins and Braves and Giants and Rockies, and the Cubs right now on the fringes, 7 games out in the wild card. The Braves are trailing the Phillies at home 3-1 in the top of the 8th. A fly to right. This is a long run for Ludwig. He won't get to it. Nobody else will. It'll bounce into the seats.
Hey, Cub fans, sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Only Vineline offers exclusive coverage from spring training all the way through the Cubs' next postseason run. Visit the Vineline blog at Cubs.com and order today.
High to Ramirez, a leadoff walk here in the 6th. Hey, Bob, nice to see former Cub Jim Edmonds just knocked down the window. Went in to say hi to Ron Santo and Pat Hughes. Has one of his kids with him.
Yeah, I thought it was Ron just banging on the window there. I looked over. There's Jim Edmonds. I'll be darned. He has a history, obviously, with both of these ball clubs.
There's Jim with little Edmonds with the Cardinal jersey on. Well, I'll tell you, I was really impressed. Really impressed. Hi, Jim. Nice to see you.
See you, Jimmy. Yeah, I think I know where you were going with your thoughts there.
Really impressed with how Jim handled the fans and the media in Chicago. He knew that it was going to take time to get Cubs fans on his side, and the best way to do that is to perform and to just kind of put your arms around it. And he did. He really did. And I think most Cub fans would tell you today that they're okay with Jim Edmonds because he helped them win a division title last year. And they weren't okay with him when he became a Cub because of all that time with St. Louis. This is Rasmus out in left center. Makes a catch. 1 out in the inning as Hoffpower flies to deep left center.
Well, and it's funny how things develop this year. Of course, nobody has a crystal ball that can see into the future and what's going to happen, but Cubs are drastically searching for that left-handed bat all off season, and you know, Jim Edmonds could have possibly been that guy, but you never know what would have happened if they would have brought Jim Edmonds back for 1 more season. There's no guarantee he would have put up the numbers he did last year.
1 strike to Giovanni Soto, who is 0 for 2. Bang that one off Molina.
Giovanni Soto was a backup to Yadier Molina on the WBC Puerto Rico team this year. Also, Pudge Rodriguez playing ahead of Gio on that ball club. Maybe Gio figures if he fouls enough balls off the mask, he'll get to start next year or next time for Team Puerto Rico.
Splitter in the dirt. It's a power split in the upper 80s. Bottom dropped out. Swing and a miss. Got him on a slider. There's no better place for Cubs fans to hold a holiday party than Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse in Chicago, Rosemont, or Lombard, or Harry Carey's Tavern in Wrigleyville. Call 773-HOLY COW or visit harrycareys.com to plan your event today. Boy, a lot of old photos adorn the walls up in the broadcast area as that's floated out into right. Ramirez is going to hold at second. Jeff Baker's 2 for 3. Old shots of Harry Carey and Jack Buck. Way back when. And Jay Randolph, who's back doing Cardinal games on Sundays on local television here in St. Louis.
Talked about the transition that Jim Edmonds made going from the Cardinals to the Cubs. Harry made a pretty good transition too.
Cardinals to the White Sox with Oakland briefly in there, and then to the Cubs. Lou Brock made the transition the other way from the Cubs to the Cardinals.
Generally, when you see a meeting at the mound and the two middle infielders come in to talk to the pitcher and catcher, you're talking about the signs that you're going to use with the runner out there at second base. I mean, I think that meeting was actually initiated by the middle infielders. Both Ryan and Lugo started to run into the mound before Molina made his way out there to eventually join them and talk about what kind of signs they're going to use with Aramis Ramirez out there at second base.
Has now taken a 3-2 lead at Cincinnati. All 3 runs coming in the 9th. They knocked Francisco Cordero out. Homer Bailey with 7 shutout innings. They'll get a tough no decision.
You know where Homer Bailey's from?
LaGrange.
That's right.
I'll never forget that now.
Might see a little activity in that Cardinals bullpen. A couple of guys were stirring around, but they've had a seat. They continue to watch out there in right center field.
Well, they'll just intentionally walk Scales to face Lilly. Make him pay, Teddy.
Some of the best run-producing pitchers I ever played with in situations like this went to the plate looking for breaking pitches. I mean, the one thing most pitchers can do is make contact with a fastball. They can put it in play, and right now anything put in play, you've got a chance to make something happen. So I think John Smoltz is probably going to go after Ted Lilly with that hard slider down and in, maybe some splitters. There's a slider up around the belt for strike 1.
Boy, that was borderline, but Smoltz got it.
slider to the back door that time.
Ted went into this at bat thinking, I'm going to make him throw strikes. The bases are loaded. Maybe my best chance is a walk. Another one.
Teddy choked up just a little more than he normally does. Maybe standing a little bit closer to the plate right now, just trying to make contact, put the ball in play.
Well, you're right. He is right on top of the dish. And he makes contact as he bounces to Pujols, who will beat him to the base. And the Cubs lead them loaded. It's a 2-2 tie midway in the 6th.
If you thought Arby's was just about roast beef, then you haven't tasted our new Roast Chicken Club. It's taking chicken to a whole new level. Made with oven-roasted, all-white meat chicken to seal in the juices. Then it's freshly sliced and topped with Swiss cheese, thick-cut pepper bacon, and our one-of-a-kind chicken addiction sauce. Step up to Arby's Roast Chicken Club and give boring chicken the boot. Arby's new one-of-a-kind Roast Chicken Club. Juicy, fresh, delicious. One bite and you'll say, I'm thinking Arby's. Tonight at 10:30, Comcast Sportsnet has the high school sports scene covered. Reports from Friday night's biggest matchups, highlights, and in-depth stories about programs making an impact in the Chicagoland area. High School Lights, presented by Farmers Insurance. Tonight at 10:30 on Comcast.
Trust DHCU for loans for any reason, for any season. Whether starting off on your own or moving into your golden years, we have a loan to fit your needs. Apply online, by mail, or phone, and get a reply as quickly as possible, usually by the same day. So surf us, buzz us, or stop by to find out how DHCU can improve the seasons of your life.
How can a 94-year-old green guy save you money during the recession? He can check out your comfort system for free and tell you how to save money on energy efficiency. J.L. Brady has been offering the best HVAC service in Iowa and Illinois since 1915, and they can show you how to go green and save up to 30% on heating and cooling expenses. A system like that could pay for itself in less than 2 years. They're family-owned, and after all these years, still doing it the Brady way, the right way.
Sports Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
If you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25, and a portion of the proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
And if you find a pair of reading glasses in the Cubs TV booth, you can leave them for Bob. How many have you gone through this year?
Actually, this is only pair number 2, and the other ones I just broke trying to adjust them. I got a little carried away there trying to bend them back into place and snapped one pair.
You don't even know your own strength.
I'll tell you, if you find anything laying around the press box, there's a pretty good chance it belongs to Ron Santo. It's like a scavenger hunt at the end of the day. I got my glasses, I have my cane. Let's see, where's my bag? Where's my binoculars? As long as he doesn't lose his hat. The hair hat.
The hair hat, right. Oh, he never forgets the gamer. 0-2 on Lugo. We'll do it again. Big series in Texas this weekend. The Angels lead the Rangers 2-0. Top 2 teams in the AL West. Tapper foul. Pretty commanding lead for the Angels, 6.5. Texas has dropped 4 in a row. Angels, interestingly enough, they're 87-59. But they're only 21-23 against their own division. They're 10 over against the East, 10 over against the West, 10 over against the National League. Another foul. Lugo's given Lily fits tonight. Scott Kazmir is on the mound for the Angels, and he's had 5 shutout innings to start it. Lugo gets hit, and Lily really recoiled, hopefully not in pain. As boy, from the dugout they're looking at him. I think it was just the reaction to hitting Lugo. Fortunately, it looks like Lugo's all right. Ted's all right. Oh boy, Lugo's lucky. That ball almost hit him right in the face.
It looked like he got his left shoulder up there, just kind of turtled, try to pull your head down into your shoulders, and took it off the back of the left shoulder. Watch Ted Lilly's reaction out there on the mound. Spun around, face center field. Well, the way he went down, I thought Ted might be hurt on that pitch as well.
Well, they're both okay, and it's Rasmus with the go-ahead run on base. Lugo dancing off of first, and Lilly's going to toss over there.
Obviously no intent on the part of Ted Lilly. No way you want to hit the leadoff man in a 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Think about a possibility of a sacrifice bunt, because Rasmus has done it 5 times this year, but he puts down a successful sac bunt and moves Lugo up to second base. Albert Pujols gets the bat taken right out of his hands.
Few finals around baseball. Boston beat the Orioles 3-1. Red Sox leading the AL wildcard race now by 6.5 over Texas. Jonathan Papelbon got his 37th save in that one. Jason Bay hit his 34th homer. Final from the NL. 5-1 Pirates over the Padres. Swing and a miss by Rasmus. 0-2. And he struck him out. Number 5 for Ted against no walks.
Good slider.
J.D. Martin beat Mike Pelfrey as the Nationals edged the Mets 6-5. Rough ninth for Mike McDougal. Got the final 4 outs, but he gave up 3 runs, 2 earned in the ninth, and did scratch out his 16th save.
Times this season, Albert Pujols has bounced into a double play. Pujols with 21, Yadier Molina with 26. Nobody else on this Cardinals roster in double figures grounding into double plays.
I think you found Albert's weakness. Aren't too many of them.
kind of crazy when you look at the numbers for Albert Pujols this season offensively. As you know, Len, we like to look at the splits, righty, lefty, by month, by batting order position, by count. Every number you can possibly look at, Albert Pujols is off the charts.
Soto setting up shop inside. And here's the 1-1. Fly ball deep to center. Crowd thinks it's gone, but it won't be. Right on the track is Fukudome. Lugo thought about tagging, but Kosuke got it back in very quickly. And keeps Lugo out of scoring position.
Like Albert thought he might have gotten enough of that one, but with Kosuke Fukudome playing with his heels on the warning track out there in center field, he only had to back up a couple of steps. Got underneath the ball, and as Lugo tagged at first base, Kosuke's throw was right on line to second. Big out.
Lugo runs. They haven't picked off. Maybe. Nope, got in. He just kept running. Part of the problem there is Lily's move is so slow. Lugo was able to steal it anyway.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ted. Because of that high leg kick, he read the runner that time, saw Lugo break for second base, but by the time he got the ball to Derek Lee, Lugo's already sliding into second base down there.
Holliday stands tall in the box as Lugo takes off, and he'll get third, standing without a throw.
Not even a peek back to second base that time from Ted Lilly. Neither Cubs middle infielder was close to the bag at second. Lugo just kept going.
And Lilly wants to make sure he doesn't try to steal home. Fukudome in center. Holliday retired, and so are the Cardinals. Off to the seventh. It's 2-2.
RAV4, Pilot, and Escape, the Hyundai Santa Fe is one of the best bets on the road. Santa Fe's got more standard features, more safety features, more legroom, and more MPG. Plus, only the Santa Fe is backed by America's best warranty. All that, and it's still up to $6,000 less. Plus, during this sales event, Hyundai Santa Fe's now come with $2,000 cash back. And you'll lock in $1.49 a gallon for a year's worth of gas. Visit your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers and get more for less.
Drum, so all beats well for you, and be your light, shining always true blue.
For generations, more families have set out upon new journeys with the confidence that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will continue to be there for all the memories yet to come.
Shining always true blue.
Tomorrow, the Blackhawks are back on Comcast Sportsnet. Don't miss Jonathan Tainsley, the new pro as they debut on CSN for the face-off against Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. Blackhawks Capitals tomorrow at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Welcome back to St. Louis, a 2-2 tie. And John Smoltz done. A quality start, 6 innings, 2 runs. Right-hander Kyle McClellan coming out of the Cardinal pen will work from the stretch against the top of the Cubs order. Starting with Ryan Theriot, taps it foul. Bob, your thoughts on the 42-year-old John Smoltz?
I'll tell you, surprisingly, he was a lot better than I anticipated. We talked about it briefly. The velocity that he had in the first inning, I really think worked to his detriment. Once he got his velocity back down into the low 90s, high 80s with his fastball, into the low to mid 80s with his slider, his command was much better, and he got a lot of weak contact second, third time through the Cubs order. Of course, the thing with John Smoltz is how will he feel tomorrow?
Yep. A couple of breaking balls got away from McClellan, 2-1. They give Theriot a lot of room out in left center.
And remember earlier this year when Sean Marshall had that streak of not allowing inherited runners to score. I think it was like 18 or 19 at one point. Kyle McClellan has been that guy for the Cardinals. It doesn't really apply to this situation because nobody's on base as Theriot goes down on strikes, but he's inherited 26 runners. Only 2 have come around to score.
Kosuke 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a run.
Good curveball from Kyle McClellan, or slider, whatever he calls it. That's a sharp downer breaking ball.
Well, just like that, 0-2. Season dwindling. The Cubs after tonight have just 16 games left. Came in at 75-70. Got him. Cardinals at 85-62. And running away with this division. To Derek. You drove in today. You missed the flight last night. There was some pretty interesting outfits worn by the Cubs rookies.
That's what I heard.
There was no real theme. I think it was just the craziest costumes you could find. 2-1. McClellan 1 strike away from punching out the side.
Trying to remember, was that our first year here together when they did it on a trip to Montreal?
It wouldn't have been Montreal because 05 they were already in DC.
Okay.
I mean, going through customs and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was when I was here doing radio in 90 and 91. I just remember the customs agents looking at the guys, you know, dressed up in the Wonder Woman costume. And
that was Sam Fuld last night.
Yeah. Wilma Flintstone and some of the other costumes they had on, and the people in customs didn't quite understand it.
Swing and a miss by Derek. They'll get up and stretch here in St. Louis. Cubs 2, Cardinals 2.
Dex, I need an internet cafe.
Surf and Perk. It's open 24 hours.
Dex, I broke a heel.
Oh, love your souls. 5 blocks down. Repairs while you wait.
There you are. Dex, I need to find Millinger's Flower Shop.
Chestnut and Browning. Can't miss it.
Dex, you know everything. Come on.
Oh, no.
The AT&T Real Yellow Pages, published by Dex, your most complete local info. Now, bring home the first summer blockbuster of the year. X-Men Origins Wolverine, now available. Ooh, shiny.
Corona Light, now in a 12-ounce tall can.
Grab the wheel and discover. Why Lincoln? Why now? Choose from a full line of Lincoln vehicles with the latest in luxury and technology, including Sync, powered by Microsoft, which Lexus, Cadillac, and BMW don't offer at any price. Come in now for 0% financing plus $1,000 cash back on the 2010 Lincoln MKZ. Visit your Lincoln Mercury dealer or landoflincolnmercury.com for details.
Weeknights at 11, the Monsters take over Comcast Sportsnet's Late Night with the very best interviews and hottest sports topics from the morning show. Monsters in the Morning Encore, weeknights at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
After the game, stick around for Lowe's Cubs post-game live. Get highlights of all the action and analysis from Todd Hollandsworth. Don't miss Lowe's Cubs post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Or as Eddie Olczyk will be saying very soon, immediately. I didn't do it quite as well as he does, but... Eddie's a big Cubs fan. Ted Lilly working in the bottom of the 7th to Ryan Ludwig. 0-2.
That's a good place to go after Ryan Ludwig. For my money, he's a real good low ball hitter, but he will swing at a lot of high fastballs.
Call strike 3.
That's a good pitch against anybody.
Call strike 3.
Yeah, that big curveball that just like it drops out of the upper deck. A lot of downward movement. That changes speeds on that pitch, and tonight has real good command of it.
Well, DeRosa's had the big hit for the Cardinals, an RBI triple in the 5th. Then he scored the tying run. Those numbers are combined between the Indians and Cards. Inside the game, sometimes when people talk about certain players, they will reference the number of teams. They'll say, well, this guy's been on 6 different teams the last 7 years, so what does that tell you? I don't know if I buy that, and I think Mark DeRosa is a good example that kind of goes against that thought. He's bounced around a lot the last few years. He's going to line out to Fukudome. I think Reggie Sanders would be another good example. Well, he had a stretch of 7 or 8 years. It was a team per year. You had Reggie Sanders.
Yeah, we had Reggie Sanders in 01, 02, and well, he was a great player for me.
I think it's more about the era than anything else. Free agency and just certain situations. But going back to 2006, this is the 4th team for Mark DeRosa. Texas, the Cubs, the Indians, and now the Cardinals. And theoretically, he could be on a new team next year because he's due to become a free agent. Up the middle for Molina. Terrio cannot get it. That's a base hit. Now there are some, even if Terrio gets to it, doesn't really matter. It's going to be a hit either way, but Molina does not run well, so it behooves the middle infielders to try to knock everything down when he hits it.
And most middle infielders will play a step or two deeper than normal with Yadier Molina at the plate, knowing they can make it up because of his lack of running speed down that first baseline, but Terrio just can't quite get there.
Swing and a miss by Brendan Ryan. 1 strike. McClellan, the pitcher, is on deck, but I don't think he'll bat if Ryan gets on. That's just for show. White Sox are getting pounded at home by Kansas City. It's 10-0. Heartbreaking loss in Seattle yesterday. They lost in the 14th inning after Bobby Jenks blew the save in the 9th. And to say the least, Ozzy's not real happy with the way his team has played lately. Big opportunity for the Twins. They're hosting the Tigers and leading 3-0 in the 8th inning, trailing Detroit by just 4 in the AL Central. Twins are 2 games over 500 and 4 out. They could be 1 out by the end of the weekend.
Cubs can only wish they were in a similar situation here in St. Louis. We all anticipated this being a huge series in determining who was going to win this Central Division this year. It hasn't worked out quite that way. Every time Gio takes that mask off now, I get a little concerned. A very similar play the other day, and Gio took off his mask and stopped the baseball from rolling away. And the runner at second base was moved up 90 feet because of it, an error on the catcher.
The kick, the 2-2. A pop-up. It's out of play. Some interesting pitch counts around baseball. I guess Pedro Martinez threw 130 pitches recently.
Wow.
After throwing 119 to start before. The bat was fair, the ball was foul. And Wade Davis, a young right-hander with the Tampa Bay Rays, his 3rd major league start, was great last night, beating Baltimore 3-0. 9 shutout innings, so he went the distance on 4 hits, but 124 pitches. That's a lot. Kid who's only 24 years old. Kevin Gregg is up as Lilly has hit exactly 100. Here's number 101 to Ryan. Just missed.
Breaking ball might have stayed up. You see Giovanni Soto catches it up near the belt and then pulls it down a little bit, but because of the break on that pitch, if you catch it at the belt, it probably crossed the front of the plate up around the shoulders.
Molina inching off of first. Long pause by Lilly, and time called at the plate. Ryan asked for it. There goes Molina. Hoffpower and Lee come over, and again no play. Yeah, Pedro Martinez 119 pitches on the 8th of September in a 5-3 win at Washington. Then against the Mets, 8 innings, 130 pitches. He's 5-0. 249 pitches the last 2 starts. Wow. Soft liner right into the glove of Ryan Theriot. We'll head to the 8th. Still tied 2-2.
You want to see what a real airline's like? Come on over here.
Bring it!
If we're known for one thing,
we've got the best customer service.
Low fares. Frequent flights, that's what we're known for.
Low customer service.
We're known for a lot of things.
Bags fly free.
The lowest fares.
Great pilots, too.
Customer service. Low fares.
We're not saying other airlines are bad. We're just awesome.
Low fares, customer service, frequent flights, on-time performance, and bags fly free. Come on over here. Fly with us.
Update your kitchen with help from Menards. Prestige cabinets are all 20% off. Choose from thousands of style and finish combinations. They feature an exclusive Permavar finish for high durability and a limited lifetime warranty. Finish your kitchen with new appliances. All Amana, Whirlpool, and Maytag ranges and microwave range hoods are on sale. This electric range is just $549. This microwave range hood is only $199. Dedicated to service and quality. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich, in business for over 30 years. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
After every Bears game.
Game ends, you flip over to Comcast Sportsnet. Every single week, you watch Bears postgame live as Dan Jiggins, Jerry Azuma, and Jim Miller break down the game with me.
Bears postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. 3 straight doubles with 1 out in the first inning against John Smoltz. Fukudome lead a tie, or to give them the lead. Then Ramirez making it 2-0 as Derek scores. But the Cardinals would come back to tie it, and Mark DeRosa would triple home Ryan Ludwig in the 5th. And then Brendan Ryan with a sac fly to left. And DeRosa coming in. That's where we stand going to the 8th. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world. Delivered. This will be the final inning for Kyle McClellan, with his spot due up first in the bottom of the 8th. Faces Aramis Ramirez, who hits a line shot foul. Home run distance, but he pulled it too much.
First pitch fastball inside part of the plate. Aramis all over it, just a little bit out front.
I think Aramis loved that pitch. Paid crowd tonight, a sellout 45,959. The Cardinals' 30th sellout of the season.
We've seen that good curveball from Kyle McClellan in this ball game, but we also know that Aramis Ramirez handles breaking balls in the strike zone as good as any hitter in the National League. Tries to paint that outside corner with a fastball. Runs the count to full.
Try to do the same thing again, and he missed. And Michael Hoffpower is going to be pulled back for a pinch hitter, Aaron Miles, as it appears the Cubs will try to bunt Ramirez into scoring position. A part of the Cardinal 2006 World Series championship team.
Boy, this is a tough place to put down a sacrifice bunt. You've got a less than swift base runner at first in Aramis Ramirez, and the Cardinals are right down Aaron Miles' throat already, expecting that bunt.
And a long pause. I don't think McClellan had any intention of throwing that pitch. It's kind of fun just to sit there for 3 minutes.
That's a sign that comes from the bench. Yeah, just come up to the set position and hold. See if the runner might jump at first base. See if the batter will slide up the bat, show bunt. Molina's ability to pick runners off base. These obvious sacrifice bunt situations. Sometimes it's not as easy to pick runners off because Pujols will be charging home as soon as McClellan delivers the ball, but always have to keep an eye on the Cardinals catcher.
The bunt. Nice. The throw goes to first, and it goes 1-4.
If you're traveling and can't watch your Cubs on TV, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
Game 3 of the Jacksonville, Tennessee Southern League Final Series. 4-4 in the 6th inning. Casey Coleman struggled tonight. 4 innings, 4 runs before he was taken out. Breaker for a strike to Soto. Started the night 0 for 3. Fastball that time. Take the bat off his shoulder. 2 down.
Well, I'll tell you, we know Lou Piniella does not like to give up outs with the sacrifice bunt, but he sent Aaron Miles up there as a pinch hitter. He put down a perfect sac bunt. Giovanni Soto's got to be more aggressive in that situation right there, taking 3 called strikes with a runner in scoring position in a tie game.
They're going to be a little careful with Baker. They have first base open. Bobby Scales on deck. Baker 2 for 3. if you could guarantee Baker is going to get a hit, I think Lou would consider pinch running for Ramirez. But you don't want to take one of your top hitters out of a 2-2 tie.
Well, especially guys capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
One and one to Baker. It's a final in Cincinnati. The Marlins came back and won the game 4-3. Juan Francisco, as a pinch hitter, led off the bottom of the ninth with a home run off Leo Nunez, but Nunez did get the save, so that's a big win for Florida. They got all their runs in the ninth. The Florida Marlins have never won their division. They've been a wild card winner twice, and both years went on to win the World Series.
Yeah, I think this at bat started out to be a pitch around situation where they were going to throw some breaking balls off the plate away, maybe elevate some fastballs, and now that they've jumped ahead 1-2 in the count, I think McClellan wants to go ahead and try to put Baker away. And from what we've seen tonight, I would assume that would be with that big curveball. He's got a nasty late breaking curve.
No sign necessary here after the discussion. Goes with a fastball. 2-2. No sign here either.
You know, that's all well and good so that Aramis Ramirez doesn't see anything and perhaps tip Jeff Baker as to what pitch is coming. But the middle infielders, they want to know what's coming every pitch so they can get just a little bit of a jump on a ground ball. If you know an off-speed pitch is coming, you can assume that it's going to be hit to your right side by a right-handed hitter. Baker out in front of the last two curveballs, pulling him foul down that third baseline. And on the other side of the coin, if you're going to throw a fastball away, there's a better chance it's going to be hit to your left as a middle infielder. That's how some of those guys get such great jumps on ground balls. They know what pitch is coming and they see where it is on the plate and start moving before the batter even starts swinging.
Bouncer up the middle. Ryan gets there. Good range. Just wasn't hit hard enough for Jeff Baker. Bottom eight, still tied 2-2.
Anybody want a beer? Yeah. Are you insured? Do you know when your beer is perfectly cold? Or do you risk drinking a warm one? If you have the Coors Light cold activated bottle, you're covered, because every bottle turns blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold insurance. Only from Coors Light. Cold beer. That's our policy.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most.
Come out to Valley Falls Adventure Golf for exciting and affordable fun for the whole family. Watch the kids explore the premier miniature golf course in the Quad Cities as you sit back on the patio at Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos. Or take a swing yourself. There's adventure at every turn at Valley Falls. We also offer birthday, charity, fundraising, and special events packages for miniature golf and Happy Joe's. Valley Falls Adventure Golf. One slice short of heaven. Located behind Happy Joe's and Rudy's Tacos in Coal Valley.
Racing? Sure it's rough. And there's times it can be ugly. But anyone tells you racing ain't pretty? Well, they sure ain't watching the same racing.
NASCAR is brought to you locally by Collision Repair Center. Good guys to meet by accident.
Sports Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with this Toyota Sports Night update. Join us for Sports Night tonight after Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Another change in the secondary for the Bears. The Hawks get ready for their first preseason game, and High School Lights brings you the area's top prep games. That's later, but now more Cubs baseball with Len and Bob.
Gail, thanks. A couple of quick changes for you. Sam Fuld is now playing center. Has been bothered by that bad thumb on his catching hand, but well enough to play defense tonight. Kosuke moves over to right. And Ted Lilly's going to continue on. Facing Skip Schumacher has been red hot. So Tony La Russa going lefty versus lefty, but probably doesn't matter considering how hot Schumacher has been. He's 10 for his last 15. Terrio plays it on one hop and throws to first in time.
Took kind of a funny hop that really jammed Schumacher badly. That ball kicked back to Ryan's right, scooped and threw to first base, right on the money.
Back to the top, and Julio Lugo swings at the first pitch. Fuld going back, straight back on it, backpedaling, and he catches it on the warning track.
I gotta tell you, Len, I'm a little surprised at the attack of the Cardinals here against Ted Lilly. 105 pitches into the ball game. They come up there hacking at the first thing they see. Two quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Thought Sam might have to bang into another wall. Rasmus. Here's a third pitch of the inning. 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Ryan Franklin, the Cardinal closer, is up in case they take the lead. And he might, well, he's going to be the guy anyway. He's the only guy warming up. He'll pitch the 9th. Blown a couple of saves here lately. But in the overall has been tremendous all season. Two strikes. You take away the 5th when they got their 2 runs. Ted Lilly's given up 2 singles the rest of the night and only 3 base runners. Fuld coming in. It's going to drop. And now Lou going to have to make a decision. Does he let Ted Lilly face Albert Pujols, or does he go to Kevin Gray, who's ready in the bullpen?
Pujols 1 for 3 against Kevin Gregg this season with a double. Those are career numbers. I stand corrected. 1 for 3 with a double in his career against Kevin Gregg.
I don't know if Lewis made that decision yet. Lilly just said, you think so? Come on. I think Lou's telling him I'm going to make a change. Ted's trying to talk him into staying. So that's it for Ted Lilly. He was excellent tonight. The Lexus call to the pen. We'll be back.
2 half-pounders, please.
Even someone your size only needs 1.
Yeah, but I'm taking my mama to lunch.
$1.99 half-pounders at Taco Bell, featuring the new Nacho Crunch Burrito. $1.99 gives you double the seasoned beef and all the good stuff. Think outside the bun.
Wrigleyville Sports is having an end-of-season sale, including 20% off Cubs merchandise, T-shirts as low as $4.95, clearance merchandise up to 80% off. Order online and it ships for just $4.95, any size order, or free shipping for orders over $100. Hurry, this sale won't last long. Shop at WrigleyvilleSports.com or at our retail locations across from Wrigley Field and Macy's, State Street.
Move over, RAV4, Pilot and Escape. The Hyundai Santa Fe is one of the best bets on the road. Santa Fe's got more standard features, more safety features, more legroom, and more MPG. Plus, only the Santa Fe is backed by America's best warranty. All that, and it's still up to $6,000 less. Plus, during this sales event, Hyundai Santa Fe's now come with $2,000 cash back. And you'll lock in $1.49 a gallon for a year's worth of gas. Visit your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers and get more for less.
The Colonel has a big deal for you. 12 pieces of his tender, juicy chicken for a very small price. Just $9.99. That's 12 pieces, drumsticks and thighs, original recipe, or extra crispy, just $9.99. Now that's big.
Kevin Gregg's been busy this year. This will be his 71st appearance. Runner at first, 2 outs are in the 8th and a 2-2 tie, and he has to face Albert Pujols. Ted wanted to stay in. I don't think there's any question about that. Bob, as a manager, you get a little torn in that spot, don't you?
Oh, no question about it. As good as Ted Lilly has been for Lou Piniella and the Cubs this year, you just have to take into consideration he's close to 110 pitches into the ball game. If he's going to make a mistake, it's probably going to be at some point in the very near future. And this is not a guy you can afford to make a mistake on at the plate. I mean, the reality is it doesn't matter righty-lefty against Pujols. He's hit .331 against righties, .338 against lefties.
Rasmus is the runner at first, and everybody's starting to get up for this matchup. Here we go. Strike one. So he starts him with a breaking ball.
You know, all you do here is go with a pitcher that gives Albert a different look than he's seen all night long. Maybe a little bit of a fresher arm, maybe a little more zip on the fastball.
Heater that time is in. Boy, when Pujols bats, people take pictures. It's happened every at bat. A feel of an all-star game or a playoff at bat with all the flash bulbs. Ground ball to short. Terrio up with it, gets it to Jeff Baker in time to force Rasmus, and will head off to the 9th in a 2-2 tie.
Why design a vehicle with 88 vibration control measures? Why engineer 20 available systems that sense and respond to your needs before you're even aware of them? Because the average driver spends over 40,000 hours of their lifetime driving. The new 2010 Lexus ES, uniquely designed to make every hour feel just as remarkable as the first. At your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
My name is Tucker Max, and I'm a vacuous pilot.
Naughty little pig.
Sam, here we go, baby. Yeah.
Use a
designated slot.
It's nice to meet you.
Dance, monkey. Dance for your dollar.
You need to ask yourself what would Tucker do.
Don't mind me, boys. I'm just baking a quiche.
Rated R.
When you need it fast, get it fast.
Sarah, you're home!
On the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T.
Len and Bob and our Comcast Sportsnet crew from St. Louis. Been a good one, 2-2. As closer Ryan Franklin takes over. He was an all-star this season. Recently got a new 2-year deal, but he's blown back-to-back saves. This is not a save chance tonight in the tie ball game. He'll face Bobby Scales, a pinch hitter, and then Ryan Theriot, the producer of Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, Mark Brady filling in for Bob Albrecht. Good to have Mark with us. Dave Turner, our director. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager in the booth, Sarah Lynch. Our technical director, Phil Weller. Our tech managers, Mark Harper. And the senior executive producer of Comcast Sportsnet is Jim Corno Jr. Great work by our entire crew here in the gateway to the West. DeRosa plays in on the grass at third as switch hitting Bobby Scales looks at a backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Going to be a last at bat win for somebody.
Jake Fox in the on-deck circle right now. Would hit for Kevin Gregg, although if Bobby Scales would happen to reach, it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see Lou pull Jake Fox back and send somebody else up there to put down a sac bunt once again.
The Rockies with a 4-1 lead at Arizona in the bottom of the fourth. Troy Tulowitzki with a 2-run blast is 28th. Off the Diamondback starter Kevin Mulvey. Checked his swing and fouled it off. Franklin's missing in his favor once he got ahead in the count. Baseball's delivery man of the month for August. Did you get a delivery from Ryan Franklin?
I did not.
I know what you would have wanted. Pepperoni and sausage, right?
That'll work.
Thin crust.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's that kind of delivery man, but I would gladly accept.
What is it about a closer that means he's a delivery man? I mean, they had the Rolaids Relief Award. I like that. That makes sense. Three and two to Scales.
Good at bat. Make it a great at bat, Bobby Scales. Boy, tough pitch to lay off of after you've seen a series of pitches out over the plate, down low and away, up and away. Franklin tried to sneak that two-seam fastball on the inside corner and just missed.
Starts with that changeup grip with the ball behind his back. And a foul tip Strike three.
Well, with scales going down on strikes, it will be Jake Fox pinch hitting in that pitcher spot. And you know he's got one thing on his mind right here. And it's not a pepperoni and sausage pizza.
Not yet.
He's looking to hit one in the river right here. Any river.
Is there one in the Cubs bullpen? That would count. We saw Heilman up for the Cubs. Looks like Carlos Marmol has joined him. Is a called strike. Ryan Franklin, as Harry would say backwards. Franklin is Nilk Narf. One and two. Franklin wasn't even their closer when the season started. They were kind of searching for somebody, using young Jason Mott. Once Franklin grabbed the job, he never gave it up. Became a surprise all-star. Fox fans.
Good change up that time from Franklin after some mid-90s fastballs.
One hit for Ryan. That was a single in the fifth. The other three at bats resulted in strikeouts. In 2007, Ryan Theriot finished fourth in the National League in at bats per strikeout, almost 11. Last year, struck out once every 10 at bats. He was seventh in the league. I don't think he's anywhere near the top this season. A roller up the middle, base hit.
Quick short swing this time. Guides that ball right back up the middle of the field, unlike his at bat in the seventh. It looked like he was trying to hit one over the arch.
Fukudome with a runner on. We'll see if Theriot will even think about testing Molina and Franklin. Not running on the first pitch, which is a breaker outside.
And we talked about Molina's abilities behind the plate today. Only one stolen base attempt all year on Franklin, and that runner was thrown out.
Barely safe.
A little bit of a lean that time. Looked like Ryan was thinking about breaking for second base. Ever so slightly was leaning his weight out onto that front foot. Just able to get back in ahead of the tag. Boy, and you couldn't really see it because Matt Sinatra, the first base coach, is in the way there, but went to the outside part of the bag there at first, making Pujols bring that tag back that extra foot or so before he could apply the tag.
It was a perfect throw, but ended up being a great throw. To get Terrio, might have tagged him right on the head.
2-2. Sometimes, the little things in life feel like our biggest enemies. They can be damaged. They can be stolen. Happily, there's the American Express Charge Card. If something you recently bought with the card breaks, it can be repaired, replaced, or your account can be credited. You'll even get membership rewards points with each purchase. Peace of mind when you travel. Can your card say that?
When you need it fast, get it fast.
Sarah, you're home!
On the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T.
2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Get back, Ryan, get back. Got caught leaning the wrong way and then spun his wheels just a little bit trying to get back into the bag. Pujols looked like he applied that tag to the head or the face area of Ryan Terrio before he could get his hand on the bag. That hurts.
So here's right-hander Aaron Heilman trying to get this game at extras. He faces a middle of the Cardinal order, starting with Matt Holliday. He's been better on the road than at home in terms of his ERA. 3.82 at home, about a half a run higher on the road. The scheduled hitters in the inning: Holliday, Ludwig, DeRosa, against the veteran righty Aaron Heilman, who works from the windup. And a fastball is called a strike. We've seen that low pitch called a strike tonight by Marty Foster, but Holliday saying no, too low, Marty. Well, if that's where they're going to call it, Aaron Heilman better keep throwing it right there.
Stay right down there.
Not that low. The pitch just on a slider.
That's the problem with throwing that breaking ball when you're behind in the count. You need to throw it for a strike, assuming that the hitter's looking for a fastball because he's in the driver's seat. Once you throw that breaking ball out of the zone and run the count to 3-1, you're almost committed to throw a fastball here.
Driven the other way. Fukudome's back on it, and it's gone, and that's it. The Cardinals win it. A line shot home run on a 3-1 pitch, and Matt Holliday ends it. That thing got out of here in a big-time hurry. Just took off the bat of Holliday. So the Cubs got a big dose of the mid-season acquisitions tonight as John Smoltz went 6 solid innings. Mark DeRosa in the middle of that game-tying rally, and Matt Holliday wins it in the 9th.
BMW ultimate drive of the game. Look no further than the last pitch after missing with that breaking ball to run the count to 3-1. Matt Holliday stayed on a fastball, drove it out of here to the opposite field in a second.
So with that swing, the Cardinals' magic number drops from 8 to 6.